Do you accept that Hamas need to be removed from power in Gaza?
He's not going to say yes. It's such an easy yes. Hamas, we don't need like radical, like dictatorships. Okay, fine. But not like Islamic dictatorships. Can we get some secular dictatorship at least? Not like an Islamist radical fucking jihadist party. It's so easy to say Hamas probably shouldn't be there, but he's not going to because it sounds too much like he's signing off on the Israeli war. Or maybe he'll surprise me. We'll see what he says.
The specific question I have for you, particularly given what you said after October the 7th, is simply, should Hamas remain in power?
Should Hamas remain in power? I think that the Palestinian people should be able to determine their own future.
What is your personal opinion?
No, I don't decide what people should do with it.
Should Hamas stay in power? Because Israel's whole argument is that they have to keep going with this warfare to eradicate Hamas. And my question for you is, do you think that, in principle, Hamas should stay in power?
We'll take the question of children killed.
Oh my God, answer the question. Should Hamas stay in power?
These are answers to different questions.
Just answer the question, Norm, for God's sake. You said you don't want to evade the truth. Should Hamas stay in power or not? Answer the question.
Piers, either you're going to moderate the program or...
Oh my God, but he's not going to answer it. Bro, it's such an easy question.
I have to say, I do think it's a very simple question, and it goes right to the heart.
No, it's not.
It goes right to the heart of Israel's argument about why they are continuing to execute the war. Well, either Hamas stays in power or it doesn't, doesn't it? I don't think you have to be a professor to answer the question.
It's a stupid argument on so many different levels. The Israeli government has shown that it is capable of making peace with its neighbors, even neighbors that it historically had huge fights with. The Israeli government is held democratically responsible by its population, so at least there's some pressure there. The Israeli government responds to international pressure. They've shown it in the past historically. They've shown it in the modern conflict now. The Israeli government opens itself up to evaluations from other parties, whether it's people doing investigation. The Israeli government has literally like people will say things in chat like, you trust Israel to look at itself and to audit itself, blah, blah, blah. I mean, like, Haaretz is literally a left-leaning publication that is inside of Israel, like that a lot of you guys love to cite when it comes to talking about Israeli crimes in the West Bank and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, the idea, yes, I would trust the Israeli government 1 billion times more than Hamas, an Islamic jihadist, fundamentalist organization that answers to nobody, runs itself like a theocratic dictatorship, doesn't hold elections, doesn't respond to international pressure unless it's around training their troops or sending weapons to go kill Israeli citizens. Like, yeah, of course. Like, it's such an easy, yeah. Like with this level of question, like, well, should the U.S. government remain in power? Should the British government remain in power? Should literally any government anywhere in the entire world remain in power? Because they probably killed more people than Hamas. Such a stupid question.
You haven't so far answered my question. If you do, I will give you an emphatic answer to yours. Ooh. So let me just ask again, should Hamas stay in power?
There is a good, complicated way to answer this question that is nuanced, takes into account the Palestinian plight, and satisfies the prompt that Piers has given, right? Well, should Hamas remain in power? That's complicated. Hamas was technically voted into power, right? If you don't like Hamas, okay, fine. Well, what about the Palestinian Authority? Because that's the counter government that you're championing. Well, guess what? Mahmoud Abbas also suspended elections. He hasn't been voted on either. So if you don't like Hamas, you must not like the PA either, because neither of these are democratically elected people. What happens if you get rid of Hamas, you hold elections, and then they elect Hamas again? Then what do, Piers? Like, do you deny elections to the Palestinian people? Are they not allowed to elect leadership? What if they want to have, like, a theocratic dictatorship, whatever, right? I mean, like, these are technically answers to satisfy this question, and they're more complicated and nuanced, but I don't know why, but you can answer these too. Any of these are satisfactory, I think, and they hint at a little bit of the complicatedness of the situation that is existing on the ground. I don't know why he wouldn't just wheel out any of these explanations.
So let me just ask again, should Hamas stay in power?
My answer is, if we apply one standard
that's not an answer.
Across the board...
No, that's not an answer.
If we apply one standard across the board, I am perfectly happy to say Hamas should be removed from power if you agree that several thousand times more emphatically, the Israeli government should be removed from power.
What does that even mean? The Israeli government should be, it's like every single member of the Knesset should be banned and then not allowed to run again? Or you dismantle the entire Israeli government? Or what does that mean?
There are two completely separate questions, and I would answer it like this.
No, they're not.
Well, I'm going to explain to you. I'm going to explain why I believe they are.
I will listen.
Because Israel's response was a response to an appalling terror attack. I believed after October the 7th, Hamas rescinded any right to continue having any power over Gaza and should be removed. The only debate would then be how would that best be done. I just want to get one answer out of Norman Finkelstein as to whether you will answer my question about whether Hamas should stay in power.
Piers, if you use a single standard across the board, would you also agree that October 7th was a reaction to confining 1 million children in a concentration camp?
Like this, 1 million children.
Okay, Piers, he's not
You
answering
want
your
to
question.
see-
He never will.
The real true answer is Hamas shouldn't stay in power because he can't negotiate with Hamas. It's just not a good negotiating partner. It's just Pierce's answer was correct, that they lost the right to rule basically once they did that attack on October 7th. If you don't count any of the earlier actions, that probably removed any mandate that they would have had to be seen as like authentic rulers of a people. That's insane.